It's DUI where I come from. They throw another I at you to go, what's that one?
Andy Andrist is here with Bingo and Chaille, and myself, Doug Stanhope. And Andy got the softest DUI ever.
Well,
what's the record? How did you phrase that? The title?
I got pulled over because she suspected I was driving under the influence of intoxicants because I was driving.
Hey, let me just set the people up at home. Andy Andrist is on tour with Christine Levine, as well as Damian Figler and Nico something or other. What's
Prada.
Nico Prada.
It's actually pronounced protege.
One of the many people that I say, hey, nice to meet you, and they go, I've met you 4 times.
I know. He did the same thing to me, and I don't think I met him before.
I opened for you in Fort Lauderdale. Well, you know what? What condition was I in Fort Lauderdale?
I get a lot of kids like you saying that. Yeah. So
you started the tour. Andy lives in Oregon. And you started the tour in Oregon.
Right, yeah. So this was the first night of it. Driving back with a friend of mine, Mac Chase, who's a Eugene comic, who has no ability to drive, so he's kind of worthless. So anyway, I
doesn't even have his own PA.
Yeah,
that's how in the open mic days, a lot of guys got booked because, well, fuck, he's got a PA. He stinks, but he has a PA. So you got a worthless friend.
Well, no, he actually he claimed all the weed, which was nice. So yeah, we get pulled over.
After you get pulled over. Okay.
And so you know how I am anyway. I'm night vision shitty or whatever, and I'm inattentive. There's a lot of drivers who didn't make it this age being inattentive like I am.
The listener will understand why you got a 0.02 DUI somehow.
0.2, which is like 2 degrees under comfortable driving conditions.
No, 0.02.
08 is drunk.
Yeah.
02
is just said 0.2, which
20%.
Dead.
Yeah. So but I got a hand. Those fucking tests are really. I'm clumsy or whatever.
I'm saying the listener, while you tell the story, will see why you couldn't talk your way out of a DUI, even though the breathalyzer says that you're sober.
Right. Right. So, but in Oregon, it's legal to carry.
You talked
weed.
your way into a DUI, and this will be revealed.
A lot of the driving, and I explained this to her, had to do with this Peter Gabriel CD my friend Mac put in there, and I said, okay, I was even like, I don't even want the Peter Gabriel, but it's a 2-disc collection, so it was maybe the one that didn't make me want to drive off the road or whatever. So it was the depressing one. So I was kind of diddle fucking with that and driving 80 because it was, you drive fast at night or whatever. So she followed me and she's going, she goes, yeah, I followed you for 4 miles. And I said, have you heard those songs? They're epic. And it takes a long time to distinguish. Is this Red Rain? Is this Mercy Street? Is it, but no matter which one was on that, they were fucking depressing. And I was like, see, that's not even, so I was, she said she was quite surprised that I blew such a low. And then she asked if I had clips on YouTube. So.
Hey, I think you're rushing through this a bit. She gives you a breathalyzer after you give her this American Psycho breakdown of Peter Gabriel. And so she...
No, I think that was in the car on the way to the jail.
All right. Oh.
The second half of the date.
Again, most comics punchlines. So then I'm in jail. No, Andy actually was.
I did a hard time. Cause she was pretty hot.
She gives you on the street. She gives you the breathalyzer.
No, not on the street. I went in to go have the breathalyzer, but I got cut. She goes, you're under arrest and all that. And then she said I needed, they were going to have my car towed.
Did you have to do all the tests?
Yeah, I did. And she didn't think I did
the field sobriety test.
Yeah, you do the alphabet backwards. He gets to W. You're like George W. Bush. George W. Bush is, Andy, you're off topic again. You get distracted by the W.
Exactly. I am calling you in as a character witness if this goes to court.
So she gives you field sobriety test.
Yeah, the eye thing, and then to mollify you, and then fucking shitty night. It's like so the reason you pulled me over is what we're doing right now. You're trying to have me track a pen and shining a light in my fucking face, which is rude, but she was pretty good looking and everything was okay. It wasn't like I was a light skinned black guy in Bisbee getting pulled over. It was all comfortable. I felt like it was the whitest arrest ever. She didn't even cinch the handcuffs that much. She asked if they were comfortable. Yeah, she didn't make me take these. I wear this reflector thing.
It's like a slap on
reflector
wrist,
thing,
yeah.
and when she cinched that down, she didn't make me take that off, and I realized I should get a second one of those if I'm going to get cuffed a lot, because that's the thing that protects you.
So she decides based on your field sobriety test
They
that
run me
you're
in,
fucked
and
up.
I was going to be getting booked and doing the fingerprint and the whole fucking thing and sitting with other assholes, and I blew an O2. So and I go. So
this is at the jail.
Yeah, I said, so am I
You're
under
hitting
arrest?
on her on the drive to the jail.
No, she was playing music, and she played music. I go, I didn't know you guys got to listen to music. She goes, oh, yeah. She goes, anything you want to hear? And I was like, not Peter Gabriel. It's not that fucking Peter. I didn't say fuck. I said, no, not that Peter Gabriel. And she chuckled. So I think, I think we have some rapport, so I'm going to go not guilty on everything just to see her in court. But, O2, it's ridiculous. But here's the greatest thing. Oregon pot's legal now, and there was pot in the car. They didn't find any devices. They didn't say it smells like weed or any of that. And they're going to piss test me, and of course they're going to find a lot of weed in there. Look up Erdheim Chester. That's why I smoke weed. I'm anxiety riddled.
That's the disease his wife has.
Yes, that was from another podcast. But
it might be
it's
a
not
later
cancer.
podcast.
It's not cancer. Yeah.
So you go to the jail, and then how long are you in jail before they give you the breathalyzer?
I sit in the room.
At the
with
police
her.
station.
Yeah, I sit in the room with her, but I know there's cameras on the other side of the wall. So I, just did a shout out to Dave Burrows, who's a policeman in town that I know. No, I'd call my friend Dave Burrows, but I'm sure
like
he's
the
not.
first 48 room?
It's just
like a holding room before they book them.
Yeah, it was fine. And then this other guy comes in and I start going, she goes, what's wrong? And I go, I didn't want a roommate. And then, this guy's in there and he's got something wrong with his foot and he needs a drink of water and he needs to take a leak. And I was like, God. And then he left and I go, so, I mean, cause it's tense waiting for that fucking number to come up. Have you ever played that?
Oh, you blow
and it takes a while.
and then you had to sit there.
And I was trying to fuck with it a little bit, like, I was
play it like a kazoo.
I was doing a lot of weird, things that were, in my mouth, just like before I got to the place, like maybe I'll swallow more and that'll do something. Cause I thought maybe I was fucked up. I had a glass of champagne before I left, but I was, I was aware as I wasn't getting drunk and driving. And anyway, but they found the weed. They found hash oil in there. I had a sunglasses case that has the word police on it. So that's the only thing that guy found. Like he's Officer Sticky Fingers. He grabs that and then that's on the hood of the car, hash, which I'm going to say is for my wife's condition. Anyway, it is for her condition. And, they got it out and they were like, it's heroin. And I'm thinking if it was heroin, I wouldn't be here right now. So, give me some credit.
I don't think you'd be any more clear on heroin.
I would be more clear on Peter Gabriel. I don't think I like his music anymore.
All right, so
it wasn't heroin, it was hash. And I said, is that illegal? And she said, no, that's not. But the officer took it and the sunglasses case. So I'm going to let that go because that's not worth it, the court's time, but it does annoy me. Now my sunglasses.
So what happened? You said you told me you got your car towed.
Yeah, they towed it.
What happened to the douchebag that's sitting with you?
He can't drive and he drank. So I was the driver.
So what happened to him? They just leave him on the side of the
went
road?
With this tow truck guy.
He's sitting in the car waiting for you to pay $500 to get your car back.
He can't drive, and I didn't know so that was the first thing. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm not even going to lie to my wife this time. And, this time, the only time I've ever gotten accused of it. I mean, I've been awkward
we got
my
a couple
whole
of things going on here. They gave you your weed back because it's illegal in Oregon.
They put
it back in the car.
Your marijuana will be back in the car. So I get in the car and I'm like, where's that fucking hash oil? Because that's kind of the only thing that lightened my mood that morning. And it was gone, and so was the sunglasses case. So if it's not illegal, he had no reason to take it.
Okay, so the car is afterwards. You blow .02.
.02, and I'm sitting there, and I'm
far lower than the .08.
It takes a while. You do it twice, and I'm trying to read her face, thinking, but then I realize if she's smiling, am I going to hate her fucking guts or whatever? If it's an 08.
So they say 02, but they say we're still charging you?
I said, am I under arrest? Am I still under arrest? And she said, I can't unarrest you. But then she took, cuffs off and all that business once we got there. So, yeah, and then I just went, and then I pissed. She gave me a cup to piss in. I don't know if she's in cahoots with the human toilet or what, but, I said, yeah, I'll piss because you'll find a lot of weed in there, but none of it, but I peed all over, first you squirt and then you want to get the middle piss for any kind of drug screen or whatever. It gives, and then a little bit of, but I just peed on the container. I realized she has plastic gloves on, but it was still a thrill.
All right.
How do you?
So you piss in a cup, and then how do they leave this? Where you still have charges?
She
pending?
asked if I wanted a cab, kind of like after a Cosby rape. She goes, "Can I call you a cab?" And I just walk out the door like I'm at Disneyland, and I walk out, and then I'm out, and it's like 3 miles of the house. So I run. And part of the reason I was so stumbly on that thing is those fucking shoes I wore that night were bad shoes so I couldn't really run in them. So I called a cab. There was a cab. So
what kind of shoes would you recommend for a DUI?
Oh, these.
These the swoosh.
Yeah, I could have got
trainers.
home. I could have got myself home from a Dewey, and a 4 mile jog in. So I'm ahead of the schedule.
So what was the charge?
Driving under the influence, failure to stay in my lane, which let's see the video, and going 80. Hey, it was an empty freeway, Your Honor. What would you do?
And they'll drop the under the influence.
I don't know. I got to get a legal fund and figure out how to fucking, I don't know. I'm grassroots in it. If you got any listeners out there.
Well, first of all, they're definitely going to drop the charges.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because you could be charged for driving while impaired.
Yeah. If they try to say I was smoking pot, right, but that they don't, it's not, I don't think so. So I'm not worried about it that much as I should. Partly because I told my wife the truth about it and just said, hey, you try to take it easy on Erdheim Chester heads, half of Magoo. And I said, hey, I just wanted to tell you I got a Dewey last night driving under the influence. And she's a lot more calmer since her spirit's been broken by disease and whatnot. And she just soaked it in. And I blew under the legal limit by 06. Yeah. So it's like you frame, I passed, I got C's, but whatever. But 02, that's, 2:30 in the morning. They just, they were just fucking with me because it was Labor Day. So we started.
Oh man.
We start and Peter, if he would have put any other CD in there, I would have been home and we wouldn't be talking about this. We'd be talking about short pants. Cause I had planned before that.
After the break, hang on. Let's take a break and, we'll get back with short pants for part 2 of the part 2 Andy Andrist podcast. Hey, UK merch is on sale. Where? In the UK? No, just on the website. Can't deal with all those problems with selling merch in the UK, but you can get UK t-shirts on the website at DougStanhope.com and posters. We have, Jim Ether's doing posters too? We got posters. We have t-shirts. We have everything you need to go out in public naked. A poster to cover your genitals and a t-shirt to cover your voluptuous man top. And go to DougStanhope.com and look for the merchandise page. My World Tour. Asterisk. Places that speak English that will still book me. Yeah. Okay, we're back. Andy, I have notes, and this one, you said I don't know this story, so I'm not even going to.
Okay. So,
I don't know how to lead you or correct you.
I guess Lucy emailed me when I was hitting you guys after your cat died.
Lucy's a gal friend of ours here in town in Bisbee.
Right, and she said, how great it is that I say the perfect thing at the most awful, tragic time or whatever. Or what, It was a nice compliment of having like a superpower that's just awkward mostly. But, it's like when somebody's pet dies, a lot of times I don't really know them, and it's like it's funny to fuck with them. Or, I had one that said my monkey Chiggers was caught up into some farm equipment and people were dropping sympathy or whatever. Anyway, I had recently, about a month ago, under the Tweaker house near me.
For people who don't know, my favorite cat I had to put down.
Trousers.
So trousers.
Just a few days ago.
So Trousers died, and you guys were sad, and Bingo couldn't cry, and Doug could cry, but he cries all the time, so nobody noticed. But I
did get some good lines out while we were putting her down.
Yeah,
just like Mother.
Well, when my cat died, when you visited, my daughter was real little. Doug goes, "No, let's take it back to a pet store." I was like,
that was the line.
Yeah. I was
you
like,
wanted to take it back to the farmer's
market.
Yeah,
I got the cat at the animal rescue stand at the farmer's market
7 years ago.
So after. First, because they said that the only other option would be to take it to Tucson, put it in an oxygen tent, and then the surgery just to get the water off the lungs to find out what the root cause of the whole thing was could probably kill her, and all the root causes were death sentences anyway.
You don't have to explain. I think your listeners know the compound.
After the second shot went in her, and I'm just trying not to cry, so I'm forcing jokes out. And I said, as she's, you can tell the cat's still. I go, you know what? I'm rethinking that oxygen tank thing. She's going, no, just kidding. And then after she was dead, I said to the lady, I said, can I keep the body to bring it back to the farmer's market where we got her from the animal rescue stand? Because that would be very funny. To just go up and go, is there a warranty on these or something? Because this one's busted.
He's broke.
Got this from me about 7 years ago. So that was the setup too.
Yeah. So anyway, about a month before Trousers he was euthanized. I know your policy around here. Dr. K. But so about a month earlier, this tweaker house, and they're ship eggs, and they're bothersome as neighbors. Everybody can be free to do what they want when you're chucking your furniture down over the thing into the, they're the kind of people I'd burn out in a second if I had to. But there's this little kitten, and I grabbed it up underneath there thinking it was a feral, and I grabbed her, and then I took her over to my house, and then she hasn't left since. Kind of like that Puerto Rican guy who rounded up chicks. I feel like that was the business model I'm using to keep a cat away from a neighbor so close. So she's got to go indoor. But my daughter was going to take her to Colorado, and that didn't work out for college or whatever. Bad idea too. And then your pet. I mean, I loved short pants. And she's a beautiful kitten.
Oh, that's Short Pants is the name of the
cat.
Yes.
Okay.
So she's a kitten who looks a lot like Trousers.
Okay.
So that's the name. I named her Short Pants, and I was going to bring her out here on this road trip. But the Dewey kind of shook me up emotionally, and I was just sobbing about, different things or whatever, Jesus, and how he wasn't a good listener in school, and my kitty, my dad's wheelchair, and how my grandpa killed himself at 50, and I'm running out of time to top the family mark or whatever. But so this kitten, she'd crawl up on my head. And she'd wake me up every morning. It was fine. I was glad to see Short Pants. And then she'd sleep on my neck. And then she rolls over on her back and has a perfect belly for rubbing. And I love this cat. And I was like, well, I know, I need to give it to Doug because they lost their cat and it's a beautiful cat. And, the Puerto Rican guy, I'm sure wanted to go out a little more, but, I got to be home without the third cat. So anyway, I was like weepy at it and stuff. And then I realized, well, I'm crying more over the thought of giving a cat to somebody than Bingo was saying that you were or whatever. But I guess it would have been an act of complete love and stupidity like I do, to bring her all the way here and then have her eaten by a javelina where you're gone for a month, which is kind of ultimately why I couldn't bring Short Pants.
But that's why Trousers was my favorite, because it was just meek and beat up by all the other pets around here. If you brought a kitten that was unknown into these angsty old fucking grouchy animals,
she has a Marilyn Manson symbol on her head too. So I was like, well, fuck, that's Short Pants.
Oh yeah.
I thought Short Pants was going to die at the end of the story, the way you started getting a little
well, only if I would have brought her here, it turns out.
Yeah.
The best option is
no more animals coming in.
The best option is Magoo juggling 3 cats while I'm on the road. It's like having kids, only they're easier to feed.
We always had our death pool for our own pets. We had 2 cats and 2 dogs.
And Trousers
was going to live forever. There was absolutely no way Trousers was dying. She doesn't.
So who's left?
Meatwig,
Icky, and
Ichabod, and Henry Phillips.
And then will you just open the gate and allow 4 more to wander in?
If we didn't have them, the gate could be open.
Dogs are like
that's how we got all of them except, no, we got
Trousers
both,
is the only one you bought.
Both dogs we got just wandered in from nowhere before the fence got built. We'd probably have 85 fucking animals if Shawnee hadn't built that fence.
Yeah.
And then the one we found behind the jukebox at the Club Congress, and then I figured it needed a buddy, so I got Trousers at the farmer's market.
So anyway, I was going to give you a cat I loved because I know you would love this cat, and Bingo would love it, and I loved it. So it was like a three-way. And I know we've shared pussy before, but this was sharing pussy with a heart.
Oh yeah, that's in the book with Mother. I don't want to tell a story because it's a fucking nice chunk. But right now, the editors are going to come back to me and go, is this person going to be okay with you using his name? I think we'll just change your name.
A-Train.
Yeah, the A-Train. He said you've been going full A-Train. That's what, when he was a writer, I say, in huge asterisks and quotation marks.
I came up with ideas and let the idea guys work on it.
In the writer's room, everyone had a nickname, and he was A-Train. But you said you've been going full A-Train again. Is that, I don't know.
No, not drinking wise or anything. No, I just brought the A-Train cot, but I have started nature jacking. A-Train.
Oh, is that what you meant by going full A-Train?
Yeah, well, I brought, the cot that I slept on the man show lot with. I pulled it out because I lent it to Nico. And then I was like, fuck, I'll bring that on the track. And then, when you got two, we call them the bigs. Figler, he's not in here, so I can talk freely. He's a big fat fuck, and Christine Levine's popped up from prednisone, saying they're both heavy snorers.
We have some chairs here that are fat guy friendly because we have a lot of fat friends. Yeah. We're fat people friendly. And then Damien and Christine show up, and I'm like, because these bar stools that you bought, you the listener, due to the football helmet, which was a grand success, I say, even though it doesn't end till tomorrow. But I know already, you paid for some really nice bar stools for this podcast, but they're hydraulic adjustable, and you're over 225. It sinks to the lowest setting. And there's nothing sadder than your fat friend sitting on a bar stool when you're standing as a bartender and they shrink down to Kilroy with the fucking nose on the bar.
Here's how, we call it, they're just the bigs, and me and Nico are not. But we were at a Subway, ironically, and there's all the shit's messed around in back, but I pulled a pair of Figler pants out of there, and I think they're bigger than Jared's fat pants.
Damon Figler is one of the opening acts on the tour.
And so I'm holding up Figler's pants, and Christine's in there eating her sandwich, and I'm jumping up and going, woo, holding up the fat pants, and she thought they were hers, so she kind of looked sad. And I'm like, woo, getting pictures, and it's a lot of fun to have fat pants outside of Subway for some reason.
We measured them in front of us. We could both fit into Damien's pants.
Yes. So, and I go, Christine, those weren't your fat pants. They were someone else's. They were Figler's. And she goes, oh, I thought you were mocking me with my pants. It's like, no, I was kind of having fun with Figler's pants.
We're not fat shaming. We're fat celebrating.
Yeah, we're fat celebrating.
But that was so nice to be able to say, oh, sit over there. You're too fat for these stools, because that's the way comics can talk to one another.
No, Levine said to me,
Shawnee has heard me opine about my missing comedians and just that. Because when I get drunk, I just start talking like that anyway. And I come across as the most rude, awful fuck.
Right.
But this is the way we talk. And it was so, like, happy to have comedians.
She asked me when it's just the two of us, am I fat, Andy? And I said, no, you just look like you have a lot of good spots to smuggle drugs back from Mexico.
And she will.
Pleasantly, with concealment. Anyway.
How does Christine ever say, am I fat, Andy? She's fucking enormous.
Yeah,
she's beyond morbid obesity, if there's a beyond.
She's a supersized, I guess, or not, gigantic.
She's a beautiful, soft-hearted woman. She's just graphically like people look at me and say, "You're gonna die with the drinking and the smoking." You look at her and you go,
"She's
yeah,
bigger." But you know what is like, like I started to get fat. fatter, and then they say, oh, you look, if like Ralphie May loses 5 pounds, people go, you look good or whatever. No, you just look less fat or whatever.
You don't. He never does. Ralphie May will lose 100 pounds.
He was a bad example because he's pretty fucking.
I
fat.
watched that My 600-Pound Life on it's like Discovery Channel. Fucking,
I passed
they
it.
follow a fat person for a year of someone over 600 pounds, and as they go through this stomach surgery and then usually half the time they go back to fucking drive through and greasy foods and I'm a little off my diet right now. I'm having a little trouble. But they get they'll get from 734 pounds down to 280 for a 5'4" woman and celebrating.
It's a mile. I never thought I would see this size again. But with Christine too, she's got rheumatoid arthritis now. Because she was starting a routine of getting
we should save this. She's going to be on a podcast.
Is it cool you giving her medical history?
Let's talk to her about this.
I'm a certified doctor. But I'm just saying she hasn't, so she's also on things that make her puffy.
Yeah.
Not that we're not. I mean, mimosas make me puffy.
I feel a little puffy. We should hit the pool and the sauna.
All right. Oh. All right.
Shit, are we short here?
Yeah.
We seem short on a podcast. Let's take a break and we'll come back and wrap up with some other fascinating, hard to follow, brilliantly funny Andy Andrist story right after this. Hey, I'm going to the UK and Europe. The dates are at DougStanhope.com. We're doing England, Scotland, Ireland, Denmark, Iceland, Amsterdam, Norway. I think we're even doing Sweden. Go to DougStanhope.com. But for the 5 weeks that I'm gone, there's no way I'm going to try to pack fucking podcasting equipment and trust Brian the Filthy Uncut Scotsman to do it. He can't beat Chaille. He will never beat Chaille. So my thought was to have Chad Shank fill in for me for 5 weeks and be my guest host of the Doug Stanhope podcast. Well, that's up to you, the listeners. If you'd like him to do that, tweet him at HDFatty, at HD as in Harley Davidson, Fatty, Fatty. And if more people want him to do this, and he gets more tweets, it will affect his ego and make him smile more when he's trying to not kill people at home. All-star podcast, since you guys have bought those fucking football helmets or are buying those to pay for this. Coming soon, Andy Andrist and Christine Levine. Click.
A lot of those dates were confirmed. He's bugging saying, you better get your plane ticket.
The kid, Nico Prada. You said you told me that you're bringing two extra people.
I talked to you, and we talked about it, and you said I said to him, it's okay if a couple of comics, Figler and this other guy on a road trip.
A lot of times on the phone, if you've gone on too long and I haven't been following, I just say,
I didn't see the light.
Or sometimes I'm just really
me.
drunk.
Yeah.
But it's so funny to look at him because he's sitting there. He's this wispy kid that I know it's a obscure reference. Fuck, what's the God damn it. Is this going to happen to me? That movie, It's an independent movie with the kids in Xenia, Ohio, and they shoot the grandmother in the foot with a BB gun. Gummo. Oh. Gummo. He looks like a kid from Gummo, if you know that movie. He's a stringy, long-haired,
skinny,
wayfish kid. He looks like he's 16.
Yeah.
And he's drinking a 40 of Old English, and they're bragging that I got it in a bottle. You can only get these in plastic where I'm from.
Well, that's why I think it's a small piece of what's wrong in Florida. Because they hit it early and often, and if them were my pants, I'd be toning down the 40s for a minute. And remember?
No, I'm talking about Nico. Nico's a wispy one.
Yeah.
But he's sitting over there all wide-eyed. He's 24, but he looks 16, and he's drinking a fucking 40 at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, he gets up and drinks pretty early. So I kind of admire some of that. But I can see where it could get to be an issue.
Yeah.
And he's wicked, like sickly. Like, he takes
Yeah, he's
shits
got
that take
that-
20
the-
minutes, and
the pencil
Figler
thin
says
kid stash Scooby Doo's
Yeah.
mustache.
yeah, Figler says he's in there jerking off, but he's in there trying to shit because he doesn't eat.
We're
Like,
talking about you behind your back, but
Pouring-
welcome to the show.
pouring peanut butter out or something. Yeah,
I'm just saying how funny you look.
Nico-
You look like a kid from Gummo, and you're sitting over there drinking a 40 of Old English.
I finished my 40.
Yes, you did. And I asked him, by the way, follow Andy Andrist on Facebook. It's Andy Andrist, Andrist. Just search him and see if he ever puts up his dates, because both of these guys are on tour with Christine Levine.
well,
who's
no,
not in
the
room.
Florida dates aren't. It's. I'm going out there, and Figler's booking gigs for me in Florida. But
The
he
point
said,
is, I asked him where they're playing and where can people find their dates. Should they book new dates? And they go, oh, I guess you asked Damien. So that's why
He's the fucking booking
I
machine,
understand.
man.
I understand. I don't know where I'm playing in the UK, but I know I could say go to DougStanhope.com.
Well,
Follow Andy on Twitter at Andy Andrist.
I don't have a team around me.
You
I
do
just
tweet
have
quite a bit.
Yeah, on Twitter. When I get a
Have you ever got a response? You fuck with
Trump.
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid, we're friends. He follows me.
He follows
But,
you.
yeah.
Has he ever answered you?
No, he retweeted, and I don't know that he's actually replied, but he watches Chips a lot and drinks.
He's not
beer.
verified, but you, Christine said you verified him yourself somehow.
Yeah, he was in some feud with some guy who had made a song like Pina Colada. It was a one-hit wonder.
Oh, yeah,
and they were feuding, and I entered into that. I was like, making fun of the other guy with Randy. And he liked that. And
What's his name?
Bertie Higgins.
Yeah, nice.
Bertie
call.
Higgins.
The Pina Colada song.
And I took a picture of a couch that was in the garbage can, and I said, "This looks like Bertie Higgins is moving again." And he retweeted, and I was real proud. And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Cousin Eddie retweeted, and then later,
I unashamedly fucking get off when someone known favorites or retweets anything that I know they. Or if I find out they follow me, I'm like, really?
Right, yeah. And Randy Quaid's right on the list of who you'd want because he's kind of
Fuck
insane.
yeah.
He's not kind of insane.
Have you seen what's happening with Carlos Valencia right now? He posted a tweet about, he said, "I don't care if feminists get mad. I don't think Serena Williams should be able to play a woman." And he's getting like gnarly hatred, dude.
Oh shit?
Like people retweeting him. I got to a point where I saw a picture online from somebody who was going to whatever the fuck university it was, and the teacher posted it on the screen saying, "Let's talk about this."
That's such a passive aggressive way of going, this is fucking funny, but I can't say it, so I'm going to make it into a serious discussion. Let's talk about this. This is hurtful for so many reasons. I mean, pretty funny tweet.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good one.
He cranks out. These are like a little machine of jokes, that Carlos Valencia.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean,
And he's leading our death pool, by the way. I don't know how many people are you. We actually got some stuff from, I'm going to save this for another thing, but that guy's in death pool. Some guy sent me some booze. Yeah, not that. The other guy.
Burps smell like orange juice.
Someone sent us some lemonade moonshine. I think it's just
Joe.
Joe? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're going to do shots of that later. It's fucking almost 3. I don't want to do shots. We should hit the pool.
yeah, let's get in the pool.
I'm down to go swimming.
Pool.
All right. Yeah.
Pool. Come
Okay. You know what? This is enough of a podcast. I'm probably in fucking London by the time you listen to this, or Glasgow.
This is a podcast where nothing
or
really.
Hull. I don't know.
It's just a conversation. I didn't know we were podcasting for a while. We were just talking about Nico being wayfish and delightful.
What? Where was I?
You were just outside the door.
Getting the dates.
Out
What
of
are
your,
the dates?
We
out
just
of
thought this
earshot.
podcast was a little short, so we were going to come up with something else to say, and we didn't. So we came and shit on you while you're outside taking a piss.
All right, here are the dates. Here are the dates.
Here are the dates.
All right.
Yeah, what do we call this tour?
I don't know.
Wow.
The short pants tour.
You guys
Short
are really
pants
doing this.
tour.
Yeah,
backwards.
why don't you make up tour T-shirts after it's over?
I'm getting them
Don't be
printed.
a dick.
I'm getting them printed a month later.
Don't be a
all right.
dick. I'm being a dick to Andy, and then he'll be a dick to you.
We're all a dick
You don't.
to one
I
another.
don't even have
It's a
time
big-
to be a dick to you.
Why don't we
It's a
all?
big sausage
Why don't we
fest.
all put our
That's
dicks
your
in
fault.
and be one big dick? If we put our dicks together,
Be the tallywhacker.
nothing can stop us.
We can be the tallywhacker.
I hate that I've where those
You think-
glaring observances of your own age where you go, I couldn't do this anymore. I couldn't be in that van with these. I'd snap every fucking morning.
You saw me get surly a little bit on there.
That's nice. It's nice that you get surly because you're usually the one that makes people surly. And
well,
it's
there's
nice
some of that
you're in
too,
a leadership role
but
now.
It's a really comfortable van. You can recline and watch DVDs and shit. So it was a pretty easy ride, actually.
Yeah, I saw.
And these guys,
Andy getting surly is not a big deal. Try fucking Figler getting surly in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, when we get paid $25 instead of the $250 we were supposed to get paid.
Damian Figler is excited to get. You know that emotion you have when you get off stage and you're all bantering in the green room and everything. Yeah, fucking in that fucking table. He has that intensity at breakfast with a hangover when you have 4 hours sleep and trying to tell you these stories that you know they're not going to end soon and trying to maintain eye contact.
And he's a big feller too, so you got to be polite.
It was that booming voice. It rattles you like rap music, fucking bass at a red light. Your kidneys rattle when he talks. And it's not like Chad Shank, golden voice, smooth. It's burr, 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 burr. And then we went to a titty bar and there was meth and I thought it was coke and it looked like, and then I see the crystals. I'm like, where? I'm like, oh, come on. I'm wearing sunglasses at breakfast.
And I love that motherfucker.
I know. We'll talk the same shit in front of his face.
We love him. I'm not saying we don't.
We're just
I'm saying with a hangover.
That's
also, why I ditched you.
He works at a rock club, so he's also got the deafness, and so he's, you know how that goes when people.
Yeah, but he's the amount
I can't find the cheese. You know, the old cunts in the store. You can hear them 5 aisles away. I can't.
I've got the dates.
Oh yeah. We're gonna close on something.
And who's on this tour?
It's me and Figler and Nico here.
Okay.
And,
our friend Brian Coronado from down South Florida. He's
so I'm returning to Florida.
He's the straightest gay guy you'll ever
go
meet.
back to podcast 1 and find out my adventures in Florida
so far,
previously.
We've got Montgomery, Alabama on Friday the 16th.
That's going to end the tour. I'll get arrested.
This won't be out.
17th will be at the Handlebar.
All right.
Cool little biker bar.
Is that the one?
Yeah, we played Handlebar in Pensacola.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
18th will be at Tallahassee. And then
Jesus Land for a stop in.
And then the 23rd, we're back at the Creepy Tiki in Fort Lauderdale.
The Creepy Tiki in Fort Lauderdale. That's not the.
That's where Figler he books.
It's the room that we run.
That's where that Barry Sobel showed up there at that place.
That's where he cried. Well, one of the many places that he probably cried.
It's like there's a tattoo parlor attached to it, and then it's a bar next to it. So.
Well, we'll try to have this out by September 23rd because this is part 2 of the Andy Andrist podcast.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know my
And
English.
all right, so try to catch that in Fort Lauderdale.
Here's a tweet I thought was pretty funny the other day, and I actually do it on stage. It's like, I know why Donald Trump appeals to angry white males, disillusioned white males, because his mouth looks like a glory hole. That's a tweet.
Yeah, you should.
Right.
You should. You really wanted to close on that.
I thought
you
glory
fucking
hole
killed for 2 straight podcasts.
Well, I ran out of steam, and
then you do a Donald Trump
I've been
tweet.
cruising on fumes for the last.
If I knew how to do the split photo, I want to do the mouths of John Taffer from Bar Rescue versus Josh Mankiewicz from NBC Dateline. Because they both have awkward, like a vagina that had a stroke.
What's
these
Taffer
crooked,
mouth?
weeping mouths? One side hangs up and the other goes down, and they look like an old woman's vagina that had a stroke, and now it's talking like Mary J. Buttafuoco.
Well, you know what you should do just for fun?
Get me a split screen of that. I'll
You know what you
tweet that.
should do for fun is like put just a couple dignified headshots, like you have John Taffer and maybe Nancy Grace up, that you could drop something to cover it now and then, but definitely.
I just
John
want those
Taffer.
2 mouths side by side in a tweet, so I could say which one is the preferable old woman stroke
There's
vagina.
Chad Shank
yes,
is in
Chad
the house.
Shank. We're closing on Chad Shank. Teaser for the next podcast. Thanks for listening. Shit just got funnier.
Let's go swimming.
Hey, this is Chaille, and before I get a bunch of email, Pina Colada song, or Escape, was written by Rupert Holmes. Bertie Higgins wrote Key Largo. Let's listen to some of that.
Wrapped around each other, trying so hard to stay warm. That first cold winter together, lying in each other's arms. love so desperately. Honey, I was your hero, and you were my leading lady. We had it all.
When did she get her tits done, though?
The first time when I was like 15, because she let us squeeze them in friendlies.
Oh, no. Oh, too much. Save it for the book.
It is-
Scrody McBooger.
It's
Hey,
in the
Scrody
book.
McBooger balls, put it in the book.
Yeah.
Booger balls.
Nobody can read a chapter without vomiting.
Yeah, that's when people say, what's your book about? It's a book about my life with my mother. And you go, oh, that sounds so Margaret Cho. Boring. Well, it's a little uglier than that.